Uh, but now let's go ahead and jump into the National Football League. We are the regular season behind us. The last time we met and we were live on this show, we had regular season to talk about, but that is in the rearview mirror now as we are in the NFL playoffs. See if you're on our YouTube channel. If you're on any of our live feeds or if you're on our TikTok later after the fact, you can see the field in front of you. Of course, the Detroit Lions off their win on Sunday night as your number one seed in the NFC. The Kansas City Chiefs had that locked up in the AFC a while ago. So we have three matchups in the NFL starting this weekend: 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday. And we will start in Houston on Saturday, 4:30 Eastern time on CBS. It's your number 5 seed Los Angeles Chargers. Them fighting Harbaugh's got to the 5 seed. How about it? They are 11-6 on the season. They are a 3-point road favorite at the number 4 seed Houston Texans, who finished the year 10-7. Your over/under on this one is 42.5. Mikey B, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, let's be very transparent here. The Houston Texans may be one of, if not the worst, team to get a home game since the 7-9 Seattle Seahawks. This team sucks out loud. It is not good. They won a real bad division. There's no way that I'm going to sit here and tell you that the Fighting Harbaughs are not going to win this football game. Lad McConkey may score more than the entire Texans offense by himself. Give me the Chargers. I will take the under just because I don't think the Texans are going to score.
That's fair. EJ.
I have said all year long, the Texans are lucky to be playing that division and get 10 wins, because any other division probably they plan to make playoffs, because they have been underwhelming the entire year. So, the fact they're even here is a blessing, and that the AFC South obviously was trash this year. That being said, Jim Harbaugh, a phenomenal coaching job this year. As I said, he's a culture changer. The guy is probably top 3 coach in all of football, period, college or pros. He's just that damn good and has been for the last decade or more. Look, this is the Chargers. To me, the Chargers are the dark horse of the AFC. They're the team right now in that wild card bracket that can really fuck shit up for Kansas City or anybody else on the top of the seats. So that said, you ain't know who I'm going to pick here. I'm picking the Chargers to win this game. I like your under there, Mike, but I think the number is so low enough that you might get a slight over. So give me a slight over on this game.
Yeah, the Texans obviously lucky to play in the division that they do. They've kind of limped throughout the year, have had injuries along the way as well, but they still come in beat up. The Chargers starting to get healthy as well at the right time. Offense is starting to click. We've seen the offense, and I even noted it on Sunday and the week prior that I'm watching this team, and I'm like, man, these receivers that we sat in our NFL preview show going, who are these people? Like who is Justin Herbert throwing to? And Lad McConkey, household name. But there's guys, on the underside. Will Dissly is at tight end has come on strong late. Quentin Johnson is a great number 2 option emerging.
When he can actually hold on to the football.
Yeah, right. And you have a running game now with Dobbins back. They signed Zeke as a short yard back option. He's
worse.
Hopefully finding new life there. I like the Chargers to win. I like them to cover here, but I do still like the under. If the Chargers are going to win this game, they're going to have to keep the Texans' weapons from doing anything. And it's playing a good defensive game, which I know they're going to do. And keep the ball out of the playmaker's hands. So, I like the under.
And I'll say this much. In a world, if Dan Campbell didn't exist or even Kevin O'Connell didn't exist this year, Jim Harbaugh's coach of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, you got the other guys' picks?
Yes. All 3 took the Chargers.
All right, smart play. Devin's got the Chargers and the under as well. Then we move to Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time on Prime Video, the first NFL postseason game on Prime Video. I know Kyle loves that. We go to Charm City. It is the number 6 seed Pittsburgh Steelers, who have had a rough final month of the season, falling to 10-7. They travel to the number 3 seed Baltimore Ravens, finished the year 12-5 and division champs there. They are a 10-point home favorite. Your over-under is 44, Mikey B.
I don't know. I feel like somebody on this panel at some point this season said that there may be a Russell Wilson problem in Pittsburgh. I don't know who it was. I don't know who talked about it, but there was someone that said that might be an issue. Well, guess what, boys? The issue is at freaking DEFCON 5. Losers of 4 straight. Couldn't get out of their own way against Cincinnati.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Couldn't figure it out. Had a shot to control your own destiny and basically almost have a walk in playing Houston. And they still found a way to lose to Cincinnati, who was trying to give them that game at points. Mm-hmm. This offense is in trouble. You know what offense isn't in trouble? The team that they're facing. Give me the Ravens minus the points and give me the over because they may hit it by themselves.
EJ.
I get it. Baltimore is right now the hottest team in the conference right now, coming to the playoffs.
No, they're
Who's
not.
hotter than them right now? Who's
The
hotter than them right
hottest
now?
team. The hottest team isn't playing in the playoffs. Let's be very transparent. The hottest team.
Okay.
It's not playing in the playoffs.
That is
very
fair.
transparent.
Okay, I mean in the playoffs. But
The
my
hottest team
point is,
left. Yeah, you're right.
The hottest team in the playoffs is the
you're
Baltimore.
right. No. I'm with you. No, that's what it is there. No. Baltimore. So I get why there's 10 points is a lot of points here. I get why they're favored that many points. It is just hard for me, and I know they just beat this team on week before Christmas by 14 or something or more than that. Anyway, in the same spot in the same area. It's just hard for me to see a Steelers Ravens game where the Ravens, cover 10 points like that on a whim. So I'm gonna look. Baltimore's in this game. That's not even a conversation. But I can see a late cover by Pittsburgh here. So give me Pittsburgh on the points in a late cover after everything's all settled, and I will take a. Hold on, my thing is screwed there. And I'll take an over also too on this one.
You're just tell us, Ernest. You can't pick against Omar Epps because the last 4 weeks of the season, 14-point loss to Philadelphia, 13-point loss to Baltimore, 19-point loss to the Chiefs, and then a 2-point loss to the Bengals.
Not great, Bob.
And for the record, I'm one of the biggest Russell Wilson defenders on the planet. He hasn't played well last month, but can I argue, especially against the Bengals game? My God, George Pickens, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You want to look as a top receiver?
Buddy,
He's a problem. There's quite a few problems in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah. It's your starting quarterback throwing for 148 yards in a game that you need to win to be the 5 seed.
Not great, Bob.
There's other guys there. Pat Freiermuth was open 85% of that game because what can the Cincinnati Bengals not do? Cover tight ends.
Right. George Pickens cost us a lot of money, future money. So
George Pickens is George Pickens' zone worst enemy, and if he wants to be out of Pittsburgh that bad, he can join the Tyreek Hill sweepstake.
Yep.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
You ain't lying.
Look, man, I brought it up in our group. They've lost. The Steelers have lost 4 in a row. They've lost 5 of their last 7. I understand it's the roughest stretch of their year, but if you're going to try to tell me that you're going to make some noise and win a playoff game for the first time since 2016, you got to show me something in the last month of the year that tells me you can do it. You haven't showed me anything in the last month of the season that tells me you're going to be able to go into Baltimore and beat the Ravens. This series is notorious for low-scoring games. I don't even see that happening this weekend. I'm definitely hitting the over. And I think, I smell boat race. Give me Baltimore plus the 10. Here's the thing. I know that people, you don't want to hear it, but the calls are going to get louder. The calls from inside the house are going to get louder because regular season success is great. Don't get me wrong. But at some point, you need to have a conversation about, 9 years since a playoff win. This will now be, if they lose this Saturday, be 8-11 all time in the postseason for Mike Tomlin. That's the problem.
And weren't 4 of them on the run to the Super Bowl win?
Yeah, he
or three or 4 of them are there. So you're telling me he's 5
in 2008 he was 3-0. 2010 when they lost the Super Bowl he was 2-1. So he literally won 5 of his 8 playoff games in his first 3 trips to the postseason. Like, great
I mean,
regular season coach, but
I mean, there is a conversation at this point, and I'm one of the biggest Tomlin dependents on the planet. Me and Kyle Nash especially too. But there's a conversation that maybe a change of voice could be
right. Look at Andy Reid in
maybe.
Philadelphia.
That being said, ain't gonna happen though. But Andy Reid also finished last year 4-12 too, though. To be fair,
Right,
so,
but I understand that. But my point is, no matter what level of success you have had, if it's not working in the postseason anymore, there needs to be a conversation to be made. Like, Mike McCarthy has a better postseason record, winning percentage than Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
For the record,
Yeah.
Like,
I get it, man.
You know what I mean?
It's complicated. It's complicated because he
is
has done a great
complicated.
job of keeping. He's taken some really mediocre teams and kept them together. But at the same time, though, the expectations in Pittsburgh are much higher than.
Yeah.
most.
And that's why. Like, here's the thing, because I don't think he will be fired.
No,
if
he
they
won't.
lose.
Oh, he won't be fired.
But I will not chastise any Steeler fan that calls for him to be fired.
Neither will I, and that's someone who I have to play twice a year. Let's be very transparent. Quarterback after Ben Roethlisberger, they have failed, and that's a problem. Like,
And here's here to me, this is the bigger problem: is you went 10-7 with Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Kyle Trubisky.
But it's like, yeah, but,
You went out and got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and you went 10-7. Okay,
I mean, it's a credit and a curse too. Also, it's a credit to Tomlin in the sense they did that with those three guys. But then you bring in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, who were clearly better than those other three guys you mentioned,
right?
and
you got,
it's a wash. So I get
Right.
it. Yeah,
yeah,
it's complicated.
yeah. And
But
you,
the reality of the situation is this: you had 10 wins, you had 4 opportunities, including playing a team that you hung 44 on not 5 weeks ago. And that guy didn't even show up on Saturday night.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a conversation that needs to be had. And maybe it's going back to Justin Fields next year, but I don't know if Rusty's got the tank to last 17, 18 weeks anymore. That's a problem.
Rusty looks dusty. That's all I'm gonna say. Devin has Baltimore in the over. Mike, what's the other guys got?
All 3 take the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, there we go. Now we go to Sunday, 1:00 Eastern time on CBS. It is those pesky Denver Broncos. They find their way in
the Denver Broncos.
by way of Carson Wentz and the Kansas City Leafs in Week 18.
They should have to play Carson Wentz the first half of the fucking divisional round.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, we all do. Fuck them.
Actually, that's true. We do all want to see that. But it is the number 7 seed Denver Broncos. They finished the year 10-7. They travel to 13-4 Buffalo, who is your number 2 seed. They are an 8.5 point home favorite. Your over under on this one is 47. Mike.
If you think I'm actually going to take the Denver Broncos plus the points in this game, you've lost your ever fucking loving mind. I don't think there's a shot. And here's the thing. Kudos to Sean Payton. Kudos to Bo Nix.
Sound insane.
Kudos to Nick Bonino and that defense for getting them into a position that, honestly, I don't think anybody on this panel realistically thought that this team was a playoff team this year. Maybe this was a step in the right direction for this team, and we're looking into 2025 as a playoff potential team. So shout out to all those guys. No, it's Buffalo. It's Buffalo by a billion. It's Buffalo hitting the over probably by themselves. There's a shot. Who's the backup quarterback there? Is it Trubisky?
Trubisky.
It is Trubisky, yeah.
Trubisky may throw for as many yards as Bo Nix does in this game after they bench Josh Allen midway through the second half because they're up by that much.
Trubisky or whatever the hell his name is.
Bills by a billion.
All right, EJ.
Why are you so soft in Denver? I mean, they've been. Are you mad they took us last?
No, it's
spot?
not a matter of being soft on Denver. It's the reality of the situation.
It's
They overachieved.
they
did.
100% overachieved off rip, but again, that Denver team had an opportunity to put a nail in the Cincinnati coffin. They struggled against that defense, and you expect me to pick them against a defense that's actually good?
Oh, there's no shot to win this game.
That's what I'm saying. It's nothing. It's literally, if Denver was playing Pittsburgh or Houston or the Chargers, I would probably sit here and tell you Sean Payton gives those guys a shot to win the football game.
Here's the deal. I have a friend who's a diehard Denver Broncos fan. I texted him on Sunday. Hey man, congrats to the Broncos getting to the playoffs. He goes, yeah, first one in a long time. It feels good. Shame is just to get crushed by the Bills in the first round.
There you go.
He knows.
Yeah, and look, the Bills are going to win this game, and they're going to win. They're going to cover the spread. Could I see Denver maybe putting up a fight in the first half into the third quarter? Maybe, but if even that happens, Josh Allen will take their business in the fourth quarter, and that'll be that. So give me the Bills to cover this game, and give me the under. I don't know the weather in this game yet, so I'll just play it safe there.
Cold, probably.
Any snow, maybe?
Wait, hold on. You're talking about a team that plays at Mile High that gets snow.
That's what I
against a
said,
team that
like,
plays
I'm
in
gonna say,
snow.
No, it's a snow that slowed down the offense a little bit. So
Yeah, they're not going to be impacted by the cold, but
no, right.
Sunday,
1 o'clock. It's probably
mostly
gonna be
cloudy, high
cold.
28. So
Yeah.
weather's
there's
not
no
gonna
snow.
weather's not going to be a factor. Yeah, look, here's the deal. Denver overachieved this year. We talked about them. They're a super fun team. Bo Nix probably surprised just about everybody out there with how he played his rookie year. It's been fun. Here's your consolation prize. You get a free trip to Orchard Park in January. That said, yeah, Buffalo, easy, cover, over, moving on. They're going to take care of business. Who you got for the other ones, Mike?
All three take the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it's a smart one. All right, now we go Sunday, 4:30 Eastern time on Fox. It is the number 7 seed Green Bay Packers. They are 11-6 on the year. They travel to the number 2 seed, 14-3 Philadelphia Eagles, who are a 4.5-point favorite. Your over/under on this one is 45.5. One important thing to watch, especially from a gambling perspective, if you're into that sort of thing. Jalen Hurts still currently in concussion protocol. So was it Taylor McKee or McGee or
Tanner McKee.
Whatever the hell his name is.
It would be Kenny Pickett.
I think Pickett's still hurt.
It's ribs. It's ribs. He'll wear a flak jacket like he did in the game to clinch them to division. I mean, I don't think you're putting Meineke Car Care Bowl out there to try to win a playoff game.
Either way, that could potentially sway the line a little bit.
Maybe. I don't.
Jalen Hurts is out.
Without having any intel on this situation, I do think he'll be cleared. I just think they're not going to wait. They're
You
going to wait
mean the
till
NFL's not going to put a guy in concussion protocol out there in a big game? Yeah,
There's a wait till
I'm so
Thursday.
surprised.
that's very surprising.
Yeah, he's
Mikey, who do you got in this one?
So as of today, no new information according to Nick Sirianni, who is because he's still in concussion protocol. Smith, Dean, and Brown all questionable. Those are the only injuries that Philadelphia has announced. But if there's a team that you need to figure out some injuries on, it's the team they're playing, the Green Bay Packers.
Mhm.
Christian Watson out for the year. His ACL is gone. We're here talking about Jordan Love. Matt LaFleur said Monday he thinks Love, quote, is going to be okay, but has not been cleared. Whether it will be limited in practice heading into Sunday's wildcard game or not will be to determine. Quay Walker, their linebacker, ankle injury. LaFleur optimistic that he's going to play. So what you're telling me is you're going to shoot both of those guys up with more drugs than you could probably think of. Like this is Bud Kilmer trying to win the Texas State Championship.
Affirmative.
And we're going to get those guys out there, but they are without Christian Watson, who tore his right ACL. That's a problem because Christian Watson has been one of Jordan Love's favorite targets.
Mhm.
That being said, I don't care if it's Kenny Pickett or Meineke Car Care. The Philadelphia defense will find a way to win this game, and it'll almost look like Ashton Genty with Saquon Barkley, where he's going to probably carry the ball 45 times and probably have 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they're going to win this game like 28-10. I don't understand how this line is only 4.5, and maybe it's because Jalen Hurts is in concussion protocol. But Jordan Love's hurt too. I don't get it. Eagles, I'll take the Eagles, and I'm going to take a slight under just because I don't know that either quarterback's going to play in this game.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal: if you're you know with the injuries on both sides, I think playing a 4.5 cover for the Eagles is actually a really smart play to grab now, because if Hurts does clear and the Packers are still beat up, I think that line's going to sway in the Eagles' favor. That's going to make it a little bit hard from a betting perspective. So
if he gets cleared by Thursday, that thing moves at least 2.5 to 3 points.
Yeah. Before we go to EJ's pick, I just got a text. Being reported, former Orioles pitcher Brian Mattis passed away today, 37 years old.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
What happened?
No word on what happened. Just that he passed away. So that's awful news, man. He had a good run with the Orioles back then on bad Orioles teams. He was one of the bright shining spots. So that's sad news though. EJ, Packers and Eagles.
Yeah, that 4.5 feels like a steal, man. Like a steal. Because, like, look, I'm assuming that Jordan Love will play. I'm assuming that Jalen Hurts will play as well, too. So if you're betting this game, bet the Eagles right off the rip. Because I think the Eagles are going to win this game fairly comfortably. I don't like what I've seen from Green Bay the last couple of weeks coming into the postseason. I really don't like it. And this is the team that I was, week 2, week 3. Oh, wait, 10 creep goals.
Do you have any green toes left on the ground?
No, no, look.
I'm out.
So I said earlier on the AFC side, my dark horse that will fuck shit up in that side of the rack will be the Chargers. It would have been the Packers weeks ago, not anymore. That's another team. We'll get to that later on. No, this is the worst match they could have gotten here, especially too. Eagles win this game. Eagles win comfortably and give me the under.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there were some people saying that it wasn't smart for the Packers to be playing like their starters on Sunday. They were playing for the 5 seed. They lost.
Yeah.
Washington won, so they got it. But yeah, because they were trying to compare it to like the Chiefs and other teams that were sitting guys out. I'm like, Packers had something to play for. That's a different thing. It sucks that guys got hurt. But they had seeding to play for. So no, they weren't dumb for playing their starters. Just sometimes bad things happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really understand 4.5. Like even with even if Hurts doesn't play, I mean, you still have better receivers on the Eagles side of the ball. You have a better tight end on the Eagles side of the ball. You have a better running back on the Eagles side of the ball, and you have a better defense on the Eagles side of the ball. So I'm taking the Eagles to cover at 4.5. Yeah, grab that if you're a gambler. Do it now. For my pick now, I'll take the under. Just again because of the injuries on both sides. If some guys kind of clear up and get healthy, that would move. But I'll take the gamble for the pick here and take the under on him. The other picks on the show, Mike.
Kyle has the Packers. The other guys have the Eagles.
I hope Kyle's right for the record.
I mean, I am
go Pack go. I want to come on this show next Tuesday and watch Sean and Matt cry.
Man, and you called me mean about Ryan Day.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
you're mean.
I'm okay with it though.
I mean, I'm okay with it too.
But the reality situation is this though. Analyzing it as you always do on the show, Eagles better team. They should win this game pretty comfortably.
Yeah. It really shouldn't be close. But all right, let's move.
I'm not going to be as mean as the other two guys. So Sean and Matt, I'm here for you.
So real quick, because I know Sean will be on a couple minutes. Mike, who will be the equivalent for you of the Eagles for me and Jim? Because I think him and High both hit Eagles more than the team in the league. I think, right?
I mean, I think it has to be Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
that's the team I would have put money on.
It's a PA thing, huh?
No. I mean, you would think on paper it would be Baltimore because of how good Baltimore is, but the problem is Pittsburgh has gone into Cincinnati, won playoff games. Pittsburgh has beat them in the regular season to keep them out of the playoffs. Cincinnati's gone into Pittsburgh and won games that they weren't supposed to keep them out of the playoffs. Like, I feel like that's more of a I don't like the Baltimore Ravens by any stretch of the imagination. Let's be very transparent there. But I can at least respect what Baltimore does.
And you've also had Lamar Jackson a couple times in fantasy team too.
No. But here's the thing. I'll root for Lamar whenever he plays against Cincinnati Bengals. The problem is the Bengals go 14-2 and the 2 losses are to Baltimore when Lamar Jackson has great games. I'm okay with it. I've learned to come to respect what Baltimore does. I will never get over what happened when Joey Porter, a coach who wasn't supposed to be on the field, walked onto the field after the hit that laid out Antonio Brown and caused a fucking fight with Vontaze Burfict that we got flagged for, and they cut the field goal to win that football game and potentially blew any shot of us actually having a real shot of winning a Super Bowl before Joe Burrow became a quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. So,
Right.
mind you, when I say this, fuck you, Joey Porter.
And also, I mean, Pittsburgh, like that's been the rivalry since day one. You're 4 hours apart. You know, Baltimore, they've been around for 20 years, but
Correct.
and it's a division rival. But yeah, Pittsburgh is the hit. There's the history there with the proximity and all of that. It just would certainly make more sense. Devin has the Eagles and the under for that game. Now we move to Sunday night, 8:00 Eastern time on NBC. It is the number 6 seed Washington Commanders. They are 12-5. They travel to where they started their regular season.
Correct.
Number 3, Tampa Bay, 10-7 on the year. A 3-point home favorite for Tampa. 50.5 is your over/under, Mikey.
This will probably be the best, if not the second best game of the first round.
Totally agree with you.
Of
Should be.
Totally
of
agree with you.
this slate. Baker Mayfield's been playing out of his mind. Jaden Daniels, 99.9% going to be the offensive rookie of the year. Listen to those on the Student of the Game Report tomorrow as me and Kyle Nash go over the year-end awards. That being said, there's something about football karma that just always finds a way to rear its ugly head. And I think this is where it happens. I get it. You're trying to get Mike Evans his receiving goal and all of that. Throwing the ball with like 48 seconds left to make sure that he gets it.
Was also like money on the line too.
That's
Also
what I'm saying.
$3 million.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, he gets a super incentive basically by getting there. It's
I'm
like,
for it.
I mean, I am too, but if I was New Orleans, I would have literally loaded up everybody against him, and I'd have hit him before the ball got there, because at that point, no other time in football are you going to be throwing the ball with 40 seconds left and we only have 2 timeouts. You're going to need it, and we're going to go home, and we're going to start our offseason. So I think karma has a way of rearing its ugly head here. I'm going to take the Washington Commanders to win this game outright, and I will take the over.
Hey, all right, EJ.
Yeah, I'm the Mike. This is, to me, is going to be the best or second best game of the weekend. It's also probably the hardest game to pick because these teams are built to be even, honestly, if you think about it. Tampa, had a nice little run after the bye, and when they got healthy, then they had a couple of games, little hookups here toward the end of the year, but they got in and won the South, all that. The Commanders haven't put together a complete game in quite a while, but they still find ways to win games.
They won the South because Perk Coupons went all perked out, and they had to go to Michael Penix because the guy couldn't win a football game.
Right. So I'm just saying. Tampa probably get in. I slice it. This is a tough game, man. It really is. Like, this go either way. And fitting where this season started for these teams, as you mentioned, week 1. I'm just gonna go on a vibe here. I like the Commanders. I just like they have nothing. There's nothing to play for. They just, they're not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Tampa is won the South 4 years in a row. So in a sense, they've been here, and done this thing many times over. So there's really no pressure on Washington, really, because that's supposed to be in the first place. And I think there's something to that. There really is something to that. Jane Daniels plays like a veteran, and to me, it's like there's a lot of value in that as well. I'm going to take the Commanders here just because of the vibe. Like, I have no feel in this game whatsoever. It's going to be a great game, like Mike said earlier, probably the game of the weekend. And give me the over. Give me the over in this one. I can see this shootout.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. Todd Bowles has had regular seasons of 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, and he is 1-2 in postseason play. And he is a 3-time division champion. But come on, you're winning the worst division, in the NFC at least. So I think there's certainly more pressure on Tampa Bay at this point to get this win. And I don't think they can do it. I'm taking Washington to win outright, and I'll take an over as well. I mean, offenses are going to move, but I don't think Tampa has what it takes to get the win. Sean joining us. Sean,
hey buddy, happy New Year.
We're talking.
Going on, fellas. Had an inkling you guys might need to go to the pen here, so we're bringing in the closer.
Go Packers.
But yeah, we're talking Commanders, Buccaneers. We got Bucks are a 3-point home favorite. 50.5 is your over/under.
Yeah, obviously a good time to jump in from down here in Tampa Bay. I've been listening to nothing but coverage of it for the past 24 hours, and got to watch it with some very nervous Buccaneer faithful out at the local watering hole. There was a lot of concern, and I think there should be. I think Tampa just showed the same weaknesses they've showed in previous weeks. They showed that they are still, very penetrable up the middle on defense. If you can get it over their linebackers, I don't think very many of them can cover anybody. I think if you can get past them with a deep ball, I think they're susceptible to that too. And I think it's pretty much the perfect recipe for guys like Zach Ertz and for a fellow like Terry McLaurin. And Baker's going to give him a fight. I don't know that Tampa's good enough. I think it's a better draw for them, thanks to the Rams resting everyone. And the Rams getting to draw Minnesota. I think that would have been much harder for them. But it's time for the Jaden Daniels show. Let's take the Commanders here. I think the Commanders are going to win this one outright. Probably by about a touchdown. And at 50 or so points, I think both teams put up points. I'll take the over there.
All right, very good. Devin has Tampa and the under on this one. And then we move to Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. No, Mike, who you got for Matt and Kyle?
Matt took the Buccaneers. Kyle
Took the red. Sorry, Commanders.
All right, we go to Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN and ABC. It is the number 5 seed, 14-3 Minnesota Vikings. They're a 1.5-point road favorite at the Los Angeles Rams, who are, of course, the 4 seed, 10-7 on the year for LA. 47 is your over/under on this one. Sean, we'll start with you.
I'm sorry, you got me at what's my over/under on this one?
47.
47. Man. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the over on this one as well. Let me go ahead and make sure that I have my picks correct on this. Yeah, Vikings Rams. This was I think this is the most exciting. I don't want to say most exciting matchup of the week. I think there's some more fun ones, but I think as far as hardest to pick, I think deep in my heart of hearts, I think the Rams. I love the Rams. I don't know why. Come this time of year, but I think Sam Darnold shook off a lot of the jitters. He just played in his. Let me see here. Am I on the right game?
Yeah, Vikings Rams.
Okay, yeah. I'm just looking at I'm looking at the comments here. I saw somebody comment Chargers, and I thought I panicked. I thought I had the wrong LA.
Kevin's not confusing people.
He's out here. He's out here throwing me way off. But no, I think Sam showed some jitters in the game against the Lions, and missed a couple wide open receivers. You could tell that maybe the pressure of the big game got to him. He hasn't gotten to play in that many, but maybe that experience and the loss in Detroit is enough to calm him down. I'm going to take him in LA. I'd like them to pay for resting all their starters. So go ahead and give me the Minnesota Vikings in the over.
All right, very good. Mikey B.
Skull.
Well, I'll do it. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams money line. Give me the Rams to win this football game because of exactly what Sean just said. They rested everybody. Matthew Stafford knows this defense playing in Detroit for as long as he has. Puka's going to be healthy. Cooper's going to be healthy. Kyron Williams will be healthy. And let's be very transparent. We've talked on this show that the Achilles heel of the Detroit Lions all year was going to be the defense without Aiden Hutchinson. That defense just kept this offense to 9 points in a game that could have won them the division and the number 1 seed. If you think the lights were bright in Detroit, Monday Night Football, the only game on the slate in LA, the lights are going to be bright in LA also. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the quarterback that I trust the most. I'm taking Matthew Stafford to win this football game, and I will take a slight under.
All right.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
All right, EJ.
I mean, 14-3, and all you get is a road trip to LA the first round. I mean, it is what it is, man. And again, this is also they met this year too. Also, Rams won that game as well too, in a great matchup. Again, like the Bucks and the Commanders game, this can go either way. Honestly, both these teams are very talented. Obviously, the better quarterback is on the LA side, Super Bowl champion, former Super Bowl champion Stafford there. But I'm with Sean here in the sense that Sam Darnold, his biggest game of his career was last week. And yeah, he missed receivers and that jitters. Now his biggest game of his career will be this week, and I think he may have shaken all that off last week. I'm just going to go based on a trust factor here. And it's not like LA has a massive home field advantage here. They don't really draw as well. In fact, road teams do draw well in that stadium in comparison.
I would expect to see a lot of purple.
That's what I'm trying to say. So that could be a 60-40 Rams crowd there, as opposed to like a normal 80 or 90-10 situation. So that being said, I think the Vikings will pull it out. I think they're the better team overall. Even though I agree with what Mike said about the rest, and that does play a factor, but I think Sam Darnold turns around here. I don't know. They've shown us all year long not to trust them, and I'm gonna do it 1 week.
What did Sam Darnold do in the second half of that game?
No. I think what and this you like this too, also, especially you, Jim, and being a Lions fan. To me, that's about Detroit. To me, Detroit sold. I was sold on Detroit when that game before that game started. After what they did in San Francisco last week by playing the starters in a game they didn't have to play them.
Yeah,
to me, there's some value to that. There's something valuable to that, to just doing that, staying on the gas. To me, that's more about Detroit. Detroit is just a better team. They're probably the best team in the conference. We'll see more in these weeks to come. So
I don't understand how you say that he cleared the jitters going 18 of 41 for 166 and running for his life the entire night.
I mean, I think Detroit. Look, what other game do you see a 3-4 fourth and goals and you don't get in the end zone? I mean, that's pretty sick. That's Detroit's defense. I'm not saying Sam Darnold didn't play.
That's also great
well.
Play calling by the offensive coordinator in Minnesota too,
right.
Because Aaron Jones only ran for 45 yards.
Right. But I think I don't think LA is as big a task as say the Lions this time around. No. So now look, Mike, I will say this: this is definitely a 50-50 game. I'm not going to say it's like I'm definitive Minnesota win this game. I'm just saying like the last game. It's a vibe thing. I think Minnesota will find a way to win this game. Give me the Vikings win this game and give me definitely the over in this game. If you're going to bet anything on this game,
bet the over.
That is the bet of the week here. So honestly, of all these games this weekend, that's the bet of the week. Bet the over.
We're playing smash or pass.
Sick.
Yeah.
Can't wait to make money on the under. Thanks, Ernest.
Stop it, Michael. Stop it.
Besides that, like weird anomaly where they beat the Bills 44-42. I just don't see anything that like makes me believe that like the Rams in a neutral site home game are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. I get the Vikings are coming off like a short-ish week because they had the night game on Sunday night, but I think Kevin O'Connell is going to get them ready. I don't know if this Vikings team is going to make it much further than this. But I like them to cover 1.5, beat the Rams. But I will definitely take the over in that one. Devin has the Chargers in the over for this one. So
bold strategy, Cotton.
That's definitely a bold pick. But maybe it'll happen.
He not only rambled, but he rumbled and stumbled.
I mean, certainly a pick. I know a lot of people.
You know what? Give me the Chargers too. I like this.
I know a lot of people are
it's a gutsy play. The odds on that have to be outstanding.
Like I know a lot of people are like, just the other day, like it brought up like what happens if the Chargers and Rams both host the conference championship game.
But this
which like the funny part, and somebody pointed this out as well in this video that I saw, is like the Giants and Jets have shared a stadium for like 40 years, and people are only thinking about this being a scenario with the Rams and Chargers. So. That's how everybody feels about New York, but so that's where we're at.
Before we cut out, Mike, I sent you all my picks, but I didn't give you any over-unders. You need those?
If you want to.
All right, Chargers, Texans, over-under 42. God, that's You give me the over there. I think that's enough points.
Slight over.
Steelers, Ravens, 44 under. Slight. Broncos, Bills, 47 over. Packers, Eagles, over.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay? You got those?
Go
Got it.
Pack, go. Sorry.
Stop it.
Gotta get out. I gotta get it out.
Calm down.
Sean, I haven't seen in a couple weeks, man. I gotta get it out. You know.
All right. So before we go to the power rankings, and as we're going to play it out through the rest of the postseason, we will rank the teams that are still alive for the Super Bowl. So obviously this week we'll do our top 14. But one team, the most likely team from each conference to win the Super Bowl. I'm not asking you to lock in a Super Bowl prediction. But I'm just asking you, sitting here right now, as we have a blank slate, season number 2, as Dan Quinn in Washington has labeled it. We're sitting here, everybody's at 0-0. The most likely team from each conference to win the Super Bowl is blank. EJ, we'll start with the AFC. We'll get your most obvious pick out of the way first.
Because even though this is not my pick to win the Super Bowl, because they have all the advantages of home field and the officials and just everything in general, the media kissing their ass.
Homer.
The Chiefs, definitely.
Homer.
Mikey.
I mean, this should probably pain me to say it, but it's not going to pay me to say it because I'm never fucking picking the team that Ernest picked. So fuck them. I will take my own division rival. I will take the Baltimore Ravens because I think they have the best offense, top to bottom, left in the AFC.
That is my pick, though, to win the Super Bowl, for the record.
All right,
Well,
Sean.
then grow a set and fucking pick them then.
Sean.
Yeah, I think right off the top of the head, I mean, like, I want to go with Mike here. I want to go with Baltimore, and I want to go with the offense and the first team to ever throw for 4,000 and rush for 3,000 in the same season. I just feel that they're inconsistent on defense. I feel that there's some inconsistencies there, and whether my favorite point differential does not go with this pick. It's playoff time. There's a bye week, and Big Red's on the sideline. And push comes to shove. They've been in close games the whole way through, and there's one guy I want in control when there's a close game, and they got him. And you got Hollywood Brown now. They seem to be using Worthy more creatively. I think the Chiefs, to me, unfortunately, again, are the AFC favorite, but not by as much as some years in the past.
Right, I agree.
To me, it's Baltimore. They made an adjustment on the defensive side of the ball in November. They've been much better and much more consistent defensively since then. Their offense is clicking. Their offense is healthy. Lamar seems healthier because he has, I don't know, that Derrick Henry guy who seemingly
he's pretty good.
Getting some rushes that Lamar doesn't have to take those hits. So, yeah, I think those are going to be the difference. I think Ravens are your most likely AFC team to win the
Is
Super
that
Bowl.
because they have Isaiah? Likely.
All right. Now we go to the NFC. EJ, who is the
invited
most
Kyle?
Sorry. He's a Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. I'm always gonna
that's
prop
fair.
him up.
He's
So
not wrong. He's not wrong with that.
EJ, who is your most likely NFC team to win?
It's going to pay me to say this because it's going to work out in their favor based on two things. One team has a lot of injuries that they have to overcome, and this team has probably the easiest path right now of the teams. I have the Eagles.
Don't they reseed?
Oh crap!
No, they reseed in the NFL.
Yeah, the
They did
NFL
reseed.
reseed.
So but even so, they wouldn't play. They wouldn't play Detroit to the conference. No. Even so, Philadelphia.
They wouldn't play
because-
Detroit until the end.
You would go into Detroit in the NFC title.
Right, but even then, though, Detroit's injuries is it can they keep that team with full of duct tape for another 3 weeks? I just I hope they can, but
they don't play this week.
Right, but Philadelphia is probably still on level or close to. I mean, Philadelphia for me, unfortunately.
All right, Mikey
That's
B.
the last thing I wanted to hear, EJ.
Well, you shut your mouth,
in any
Sean
way,
Patrick.
shape, or
Sean
form.
Patrick, you calm down.
I mean, I'm not ever gonna align with Ernest. So let's be very transparent about that. I'll take duct tape and super glue, I guess, because I mean, at the end of the day, they got the coach that I'm ready to run through a wall for, and I don't even fucking play for him. Let's be very transparent here. They're getting back Alex Anzalone last week. David Montgomery is going to play in a playoff game. Already been announced. Aiden Hutchinson will be back. So the questions that you have about holding it together with duct tape and super glue, guess what? Duct tape and super glue didn't lose them the division. It didn't lose them the number one seed in the NFC that everybody thought was gone the minute that Aiden Hutchinson blew out his knee. They've made it work. Dan Campbell, believe in him. If not, he'll bite your fucking kneecaps. Give me the lines.
Michael,
All right, Sean.
method of madness.
This time of year, as much as I love in the AFC going with the coach on the sidelines and the QB at the helm, the one other thing that I think is super important at this time of year, obviously, what wins championships? Defense. And if you want to know who's got the number one defense in the NFL right now and over the course of the season, it is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Homer.
You can go ahead and hit it because I'm about to just run right through it.
Homer.
Not only do we have the number one ranked defense, we have a 2,000-yard rusher to take some of the pressure off Jalen Hurts he has not had in past runs. And if you go top to bottom in the roster, yeah, especially with the injuries, but I think even when everyone's healthy, the Eagles have a deeper team. I mean, our third string players just beat an NFL franchise, all but the worst. But we did it. Yeah, props to your New York Giants for almost beating our cheerleading squad. All right, like
That's pretty sad, right?
it was like as much as that was like, oh look, Philly took care of business and didn't have to. It was like the Giants could have just won a football game, like just to win one, and they were like, nah, we don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna take top to bottom roster. I'm gonna take the league's best defense. I'm gonna take Saquon Barkley to put this team on his shoulders. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles have a slight advantage.
God, I hope we're wrong, Sean.
Over
I hope we're wrong.
Well, Death Taxes and EJ's wrong. Give me the Detroit
Thank
Lions.
you. Yes.
That's your most likely team out of the NFC. Devin has Lions and Chiefs.
So is that the fifth thing? That's for sure.
What I have EJ, but the Lions have Devin. That's not good for either team.
Yeah.
So is Ernest being wrong just the fifth thing that's for sure in life? Because we figured out what the fourth one was earlier in the episode.
Yeah, you did say fourth one.
We did. Possibly.
All right, so it's fringe. So when the under hits in the Rams game and the Eagles don't make it out of the NFC, then it'll be for sure the fifth thing.
I pray to God that they
Got
lose.
it. Got it. Just want to make sure.